as we left off. I took off this rack. I'm gonna end up having to straighten it out to get it all leveled up, so then every hole matched up, and then unbend these plastics, and then I'm gonna have to weld up this frame section today. I got this lower control arm also that I'm gonna have to put in. I'm gonna have to put in the shock and everything, line it up, make sure it all fits. And then if this is all straightened out and all good, I'm gonna end up welding that in. So that was all good. And then we'll see what else we have left. Right now I'm gonna put this mud flap on this side together because it's all complete. I have it right there. I ordered it from the factory. I got the lower control arm also from factory that I'm gonna put in. But right now I'm first putting this mud guard, line it all, put it all up so this whole side was all buttoned up, because this side has absolutely no damage other than like this little plastic piece right here. So I'm just gonna do that, and then once I get that done, I'm gonna loosely put all this in, see if everything lines up and see if everything is good, and if it is, I'm gonna get to welding that old flame section. I'm gonna probably just first weld up that whole that slot right there that ripped off, and then sand it all off, and then I'm gonna get a washer and weld a washer around it so it was all structurally sound. I got the ball joint for this. Everything's done, so I got all the parts in, so hopefully we get it all finished up. Here's the part number if anybody needs it for this mud flop side. Alright, came in brand new, better than that wrinkled up, because somebody told me just to heat it up and fix it, but I'm gonna replace it. It was only like almost 30 bucks, so better replace it than to waste my time heating it. Here we got it all tidied up. Every clip is in. Everything's screwed in how it needs to be. It's like a brand new quad on this side. Make sure everything is attached. Everything is tightened up. I'm about to get more of these clips for the other side, but we don't need them right now. And then now we're getting to this. I'm gonna put all this together and see if everything lines up the way it should before I start welding that one frame section. And I'm gonna see if these need to get in bent or anything. And then we'll get to welding. We got it all assembled. Everything seems like it's lining up. So now I'm gonna take it apart, sand that bit down so I can get it welded. And then also I'm gonna need to put this ball joint in, and then just weld everything up, paint everything that needs to get painted where it's kind of rusting, a couple of areas where the paint cracked, and then put it all together. Here we got it all apart. This rust is gonna get painted up. This is what we're doing right here with that piece that's missing. We put a washer, gonna weld right here, and then weld all the way around this washer, and then it's gonna be strong enough. It's a thicker washer. I also kind of sanded this part right here. It's ready for paint. We have this ball joint completely on, and then after that's welded in, we'll get it painted, and then we can start putting the full four-wheel together and have it completely fixed again. Here we welded it all up, as you can tell right there. There's a washer And then we just laid a nice bead all the way around. This is the control arm, it's already on. Moves freely, no problems. All I gotta do is sand up some of these rust spots where the paint cracked. Paint that, paint right here. And on the other side, paint it all up. Paint this control arm because it was rubbing on the tire. Ball joints in. Everything's almost ready to start putting it together. I'm gonna paint it today and then let it dry, and then I'm gonna be putting it together another day. Also, we straightened out this rear rack as much as we could, and then I just put a small weld right there. I'm gonna have to weld it all the way around, and then weld a bead all the way around there, and then this rack should be finished. And then I might have to get a heat gun and heat up that area because, as you can tell, it's bent. So I'm gonna heat this area up, lift this part up, and set this part down. But in a couple minutes, I'm gonna paint it, prep it for paint, and then it should be ready to get put together tomorrow. So today, I finished up this whole side. Everything's done here. Straightened out this rear rack, welded on right here. I'm gonna grind that off, paint it, paint this whole rear rack, straighten it out. Paint that little section right there. All of this is together now. We have this painted also, so letting that dry. That painted also. This low control arm is on. It's loosely on. Everything's loosely on right now. Whenever that paint dries, probably tomorrow, I'll put it together, put the strut on the upper control arm, and then just tighten all these bolts, and everything should be fine. Also, I did paint the rim because it did have that damage, how I hit it out, and it's good now. It holds air. So today I'm gonna be putting all of these parts back on, and first things first, I'm gonna just start putting each piece in, and then putting on the bolts, putting some lube to make sure they're not dry in there, and I'm gonna do it in here, and then around where the steering arm is, and then this ball joint and this upper ball joint. I'll just put a little bit of grease to make sure, and then right here also grease to make sure it isn't dry, so it works good. Here's the four-wheeler. It's already standing on the wheels. I greased everything up, tightened everything. Now, all that's left to do is put these plastics on right here. I'm gonna need to get the clips, and then I'm gonna need to get a heat gun and heat gun this out and fix this rear rack. And other than that, it's finished. It's all put together. I tightened every control arm, tightened every axle, all these bolts, everything's tightened down. Wheels on. I already took it for the first spin. It's raining, but I took it for its first spin, and there's no clunking, no sounds, or nothing. So everything's good on that side, that end. As you could tell, the wheels are straight on it, but I'm just got to get some clips. I got just these two plastics to put on right here, and then heat this up to straighten it out, and then Also grind this metal and this metal also, and then just repaint this whole rack, and then take her on one final spin and see if there's anything else that needs to get replaced. The Suzuki's finally finished. As you can tell, I have the rear rack on, and also these plastics are on. I put all these plastics on. I even put this one on. This one has a hole right there from whenever the tire busted, it hit the plastic and pushed into the exhaust. On this side, I put a new hole in because whenever that four-wheel got in a wreck, the plastic was rubbing and it ate this whole section away. So it's supposed to be going all the way over here, but since it ate that way, I made a new hole. So now that doesn't wobble anywhere. Also, this rear rack, I sanded it, put a little bit of bed liner to make it look rough, and then gave it a quick paint job. And this side's also complete. All that's left to do is let it run for a bit, drive it around, make sure no clunking sounds are coming from the front end or anything like that. But so far, me driving it hasn't made anything. This does have, I think, 9 miles on it so far. It came with 5. I put on 4 miles. It starts right up, no problems. It does have 4-wheel drive and diff lock. All that works on the front end. Everything was tested. So now I'm just gonna drive around, test that around, and see if we find any more problems. Also, I heated up this plastic right here, and it went down. And I also heated this plastic a little bit also, and pulled this piece out. And then this plastic right here was ripped out, and that was kind of pushed in. So, and then right here also kind of straightened it out. So now the plastics when they're sitting on the four-wheeler, they're sitting straight. This rack's a little bit still bent, but I'm not gonna worry about it. That's the final deal for this four-wheeler.